Hey y'all, it's your girl Sia, and I'm back with another video. Y'all, first things first, I hope everyone had a wonderful day. Today is Monday. I hope you started it on the right direction, and that it went well for you. I can say that my Monday went well, but I think that's partly because I have been so anxious, and this is what really was kind of just in my mind today. I did not go on vacation to like travel to a new state or something like that, right? I went on vacation and take this time for me to really do some self thought, some self, reflections, and really doing a self check in with myself. So it's very interesting that I didn't have anywhere special to go outside of my home. But I was so eager to get out of that office today. Now, with that being said, the day went okay. I don't, it's very interesting because I've said this before, and I think I'll say it again is, having a black woman or male, I don't know, like I've never seen black men in certain positions, but I know that they're there. But as far as being like the only black person of the company, I'm realizing the biggest issue I think is because I have no one there in power, in charge, that looks like me. And the reason why that is so important when you work for a company is because I do feel like certain things that are said, um, when you do not have protections for people who look like me, people say anything and do anything, and they're able to get away with anything because they have no one holding their feet to the fire, right? It's a blessing that I do have a stronger personality, so I do not allow people to get away with things a little easier than others, but it's still a hassle in the thoughts. Like, I was talking to my friend today, and I'm just like, I don't think people understand the things that they say. Like, if you say something to Brad, right? You could say the same thing to me, and it may not be perceived the same way, if that makes sense. But Brad may have took it like, yeah, buddy, whatever. And I say that because when managing, you got to understand that everybody is different, right? For whatever reason that is. So a good manager understands that, just like obviously there are rules for the company, but how I manage one person is not exactly how I manage someone else, right? And so I just think that my boss has not figured that out as it pertains to me. Does that make sense? I feel like instead of treating me like his equal, he treats me like I'm not an equal, and that's okay, right? Because technically I'm the employee, not the employer. But I don't have a business. Like, I'm not in school. I'm not doing the things that I'm currently doing because I don't know shit. You see what I'm saying? So whereas the reason I feel like I'm able to fight for certain things at the level that I'm fighting for them for, and I'm really not fighting for anything. I will tell you guys this: I have officially checked out. There is no, like, honestly, any conversations about a raise, any conversations about promotion. Like, I'm over it. Right? I've already been shown what box they're trying to put me in. My only focus right now has been getting out. The movie Get Out, right? So I like, that's neither here nor there for me. But what I do feel like is that if I had certain representations and certain people that again understand me more, I would excel a lot further, and or have a level of mentorship that can lead me to the position that I want to be in, right? I feel as though Because this owner is so used to dealing with white people, and whites and blacks are actually very different in a lot of ways. We're not in a lot of ways, right? We're similar in a lot of ways, but we're not. Okay. I feel as though because this individual, because this person is out of tune with black people in general, I think that it makes it more difficult for him, not that I'm difficult, but more difficult for him to be able to read me, to be able to help me, to be able to push me further along, right? Now, with that being said, today we had a meeting. Obviously, everybody's back from vacation. I'm going on vacation, right? So we're having this meeting to cross reference. I don't fucking know, bro. We're having this meeting, and I remember 2 weeks ago when I almost quote unquote got fired, or I don't even know if that would have been a firing. I don't know that firing happens like that. I guess maybe let go is the term, and I'm gonna keep saying let go because hey, unemployment. I'm just I'm just putting it that way. 2 weeks ago, we had a conversation. Okay. And in that 2 weeks ago, I was clear and adamant about the fact that I don't feel like my position, there's any way to move up. I feel like my position is very important. It is very necessary to for the job, for the department to function, but it's not paid as being important. Now I'm told I'm important all the time. I'm told thank you so much. You've done a great job all the time. But the payment, the money, right? That I'm being paid does not reflect the level of the good job that I'm doing and all this extra shit. Okay. So I really don't take the pat on the backs anymore as anything that I should care about because I don't find them to be genuine. Okay. I feel like when people do good work, you back it up with a monetary value. And obviously that has not happened in my situation, but I'm still being told I'm appreciated and pat on the back like I'm a fucking kid, bro. I also know that it was if it was Brad in my same position, Brad would be compensated or promoted or something, right? So I recognize all of these things. And I have told you guys before that I've made a mental commitment to myself and to my business to build for me because ultimately that is the solution. It ain't working for none of these motherfuckers. It ain't that. Okay. Now, with that being said, today I come in, I have this meeting, right? And my boss tells me, he's like, hey, so what was it that you were saying you were disgruntled about? This is what he said to me. You're disgruntled because your life you don't have any future, or you feel like you don't have a future. Y'all know I just sat and looked at him, right? Because see, I don't. One thing about me is these white people, let me tell you, my whole life, if you guys knew my story, right? I feel like my whole life has trained me not to show my emotions in times where I feel like my emotions, like people are trying to poke and pick at me, right? I know how to read what's being said without it being said. And I was a bit offended by that, but I didn't say anything. See, because the reality of the circumstances, I've never said that I feel disgruntled because I don't have a future. And even if I felt that way, I wouldn't be sharing it with an owner of a company that has not even taken on even being like my mentor, right? So I don't know where this fool got that from, but what it tells me is he did not listen to what was actually said. And see, I told you guys I felt heard. But I think that now that I replay, like I think about the things that have been said today, it was, I hear you for right now because I don't really know how to deal with this, right? I think that's really what it was, right? I'm not used to women being this witty. I'm not used to women being able to have a comeback, a solid comeback. Like, I just think that, I don't know, they did not expect that meeting to go the way it did. That's my thought process. What was actually communicated to the owner was that I feel a bit frustrated because I don't know where my position with this company is going. That's what I said. I don't know about a promotion, right? I don't know how to grow in this position that I've been put in. I don't know. I've not been given the opportunity to. So if you can imagine as an employee, it's naturally frustrating when you're not motivated, like there's no motivation. So my motivation this year was the fact that we were going to be able to bring in a certain amount of money, right? So that all of us can get a raise and we were, it's like the sales pitch of what could happen but what isn't happening, right? So they come to me and they tell me, hey, we're going to implement this new software that's supposed to get us from point A to point B. And y'all, listen, I'm at a point now where I don't give a fuck about what this company is doing, right? As long as my job is being done, I don't care about what you think you're going to do. I don't care about what you're trying to implement. I don't care, right? Like I'm literally at that point. So inviting me into meetings about future growth, if I'm not growing, I don't give a fuck about what's happening with the company. See, because you got to understand something. I'm still competition. At least I don't think that I'm that much of competition, but I do believe part of the in on the lack of promoting me, the lack of mentorship, the lack of a future or me seeing a future, I don't think that that's good management. That's number one. But number two, I don't believe that that's done on accident. Or, you know what I mean? I believe that that's really done on purpose, right? And so for me, I have to assume it's got to be the fact that I'm a woman, it's got to be the fact that I'm black, and it's got to be the fact that I'm competition. So when I said my future, because off the bat, I'm like, I didn't, in my mind, I'm like, I never said that, right? I said, well, I plan on finishing school and getting my CPA. Do you know this man had the nerve to smirk in my face like that shit was funny? Like I said something hilarious. I don't know. So my response, and then he was like, well, yeah, if you get your CPA, your income will be 3 times as high. I'm thinking, bro, I won't be working for you. If I get when I graduate from college, our days are done, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you, the days are done well before I graduate from college. Okay. I just want to be clear on that. I don't need a CPA degree, CPA license to for doors to open for me. Does that make sense? I could leave now, not saying that I can leave now. What I would have to do is pivot and move into bookkeeping and not tax. But that's fine because I've been considering it. And I can do it, obviously. But I am at a point right now where mentally it's like I guess I feel like I don't know if that was sarcasm. I don't know what the fuck. But I just didn't like the fact that he reiterated that question to me in that way. That tells me that you do not respect me because that's not what was said, but that must be what you think of me or something. Like why would it even come out that way, right? So that in whatever, right? So I go on, he tells me, okay, well, your income will raise 3 times as much. And I'm thinking, again, by that time, I don't want anything to do with this company. Like the degree solidifies wherever I go. And people, again, you may not respect me, but unfortunately, they respect the degree, right? So, in that aspect, all this me being stuck in a position, that shit is over, right? Once I get my degree. So the day of, like, if I really had to, you know, think about how that would look, the day of graduation, I will put my 2 weeks notice in. It's that simple, right? I would think that that's what I don't see why I would get my degree, be working with a company that does nothing for my degree, does not help advance it or nothing. I've been here long enough to know how the company operates. the level of loyalty they have towards me, right? The level of respect that they have towards me. Why would I put in more years after I get my degree? That makes no sense. No sense. So I didn't say all that, but I'm like, okay, like I know that. Like that's what I said. I know. You don't think that I was aware of this before I got in, but what it told me was, oh, you don't think that, like, I just feel like all this shit that I've been doing, I did before I started working with this company, right? I worked hard on building my confidence, right? My career, getting my certificates, getting my foot in the door, right? Because this is what I said I wanted to do. What I've noticed is ever since I worked for this company has made me question that confidence that I worked so hard to build, has made me think negatively. Basically, it's like it is mental abuse. The only difference is I now understand the game. I understand what game is being played. I understand what to what degree these conversations are really going, because you didn't accidentally say to me, "Hey, look, I don't you didn't think that you had a future. That's why you were so disgruntled or whatever." Like that's not an accident that you say that to somebody. I think a part of what's being done is something that's being done to try to kick me down and humble me a bit, right? Instead of letting me thrive and flourish. And what I had to remind myself today was, you're here for a good time, not a long time. Meaning, I got my foot in the door. I learned a lot. I still am learning a lot. That's cool. But also with that, my clientele has been increasing, my skill sets have been increasing, and my skill sets are valued other places. Don't get it twisted. So my plan for my vacation is something I kind of just thought of, when I got home, because I was shocked that I was so eager to go on vacation, although I'm not going anywhere. I'm just won't have to deal with this fucking company for about a week. Great. I am thrilled. What I plan on doing, my resume has already been updated. I may have to make a couple changes just to bypass this whole conversation of me having my own business, right? But I may want to put some resumes in terms of, again, it may not be tax. It may be that this is my time to pivot into bookkeeping. Because what I'm realizing is no matter what good I do for this company, I'm never going to get promoted. And there's a saying that I'm going to tell you now, all of my promotions have come from me leaving a job and finding a better one. And so I remember when a girl told me, when I think back, because my fears be, involved, but I remember this girl telling me that I was only going to be as good as an administrative assistant, which some get paid very well, not a lot. Okay. And I see today that I've risen well above that administrative assistant. Like, you couldn't pay me to be an administrative assistant unless you're paying me more than what I make now, right? Or more than what I can make now. Um, but I have to recognize that other people do not place limitations on me. It's the limitations that I place on myself that do not allow me to flourish. So I could either take in what was said or the things that are being done, or I don't know if it's, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm at a point now where, like I said, I'm over it. I've been over it. It ain't like I don't have no emotion. Like when the guy was talking to me, I'm just like, wow. In my mind, I'm like, I can't believe you just said that. That's really what I'm thinking, right? Really? Is this what you gathered? This is what you comprehended from what I actually said? Okay, right? In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, clearly you don't respect me. You hired me while I was in school and you still don't know what I'm doing with my life. You think it changed because I'm here? Like my life plans, and that's the beauty of it all. And what I have to keep reminding myself is, yeah, I work a 9 to 5, right? But my career was started outside of this 9 to 5. My dreams and my goals were achieved without the 9 to 5, right? So while I can't go and up and quit today, because that's irresponsible unless I got quite a few $1,000s in the bank, I can plan for my way to get out. That's exactly what it is. And it's sad. But this is how Black people are really treated on the job. It don't matter how good I do, they're never going to want to pay me. Like we had a situation where the tech, like I say, good luck. I'm not available, not for one call, for one text message. I don't know what to tell you, bro. I'm out. If your tax manager cannot handle the job on his own, I'm not understanding why he's the manager, but I get he's your friend, so friends be friends, you know what I mean? If I had a company and Blacks were similar to Mexicans, I'd probably have an all Black company and be promoting them all. So I get it, you know. I get it. But I also got to recognize, and this is, again, I do these videos, one, so I can get it out, but two, people can learn from these things. And me not saying anything, because I could have easily said some of the things I thought, but I don't care anymore. It's one of those things where I ain't got shit to prove to you, homie. You can think that I'm not shit all you want to. You can underestimate me all you want to. I just be looking forward to the day where I'm about 50 years old and these old folks is about to retire and they looking at me like, damn, bitch, you came a long way. See, because you never treat people like shit. That's the thing. And these people out here, they're very fake. They're very phony. Like I said, they pretend to be what they're not. So, do I have a job? I'm grateful I got a paycheck, right? But that shouldn't be the end all be all. Like, I should be able to say, you know what, I can build my career here. I can make my career here. This is why I'm here. I actually enjoy coming to work, right? I should be able to say those things about a company I work for. Newsflash, not a lot of people can. So while I get the benefits, while the salary is there, while it pays a roof over my head, stuff like that, okay, I'll do the job, but don't think that I'm invested so much so to where I care about, like, I'm not the person I was last year, I'm not the same person this year. So this is my week, man. This is my week, my time. I go back in on Tuesday to really sit back, like I said, reflect, figure out what I want to do and make it happen. So, that was my day. I appreciate you guys listening and tuning in. But with that being said, I am gonna get out of here. I wish you guys a wonderful evening. I'm out. Peace.